Here we have two maps from the 2010 United States Census. The one on the left showcases choropleth map patterns at the county level, whereas on the right-hand side we see a dot map showcasing density. And we can really see that metropolitan Indianapolis in the center of the map, where Marion County and the surrounding counties are where we see the densest population in the state, with the other being there up along the northern border. We have two big clusters, but the bigger cluster there along Lake Michigan, and this essentially is where Chicago extends into Indiana. And it is in those suburban areas, particularly metropolitan Indianapolis, where the population of the state is growing the fastest. So this is cities like Fishers, Noblesville, Carmel, Greenwood, Westfield. We could throw in Brownsburg, Avon, Plainfield. All of those places are the fastest growing areas of the state. Further, I would argue that one of the fastest growing areas in the entire Midwest is Hamilton County. Hamilton County is just the north of Indianapolis. It's going to have Carmel, Westfield, Noblesville, Fishers as its main growth areas. And all of that is a lot of undeveloped land still in the northern part of the county, combined with redevelopment in Carmel, redevelopment in Fishers, is leading to this large growth. Now what I have done is I've identified, by coloring them blue, the counties that grew faster than the state average from 2000 to 2010. And we see where those places, a lot of them are found in suburban areas, and they surround major cities. And so I have up there at the top left, that green dot is Chicago, and so you can see the blue ones are more suburban, not the ones there right next to the green dot, for example, Gary, but in suburban areas of Chicago. Further, suburban areas of Louisville and Cincinnati to our south and southeast, but also those counties that surround Marion County. And so once again, we can look at some particular patterns. And Hamilton County saw a 50% increase in its population from 2000 to 2010. That is huge. Hendricks County, 40% increase. Hancock County, to the east of Indianapolis and Marion County, 20%. Johnson County, 18%. Boone County, 17%. So essentially, these are the places that are growing the most. But if we go up to Chicago area, we see in suburban Chicago places like Portage and Valparaiso and Porter County. We also have Crown Point, Winfield, and rural Lake County. So the areas that aren't Gary or Hammond. So we have Jasper County as well. So for those of you from Northwest Indiana, it's more the suburban areas in which you're seeing growth. Two other areas in which you're seeing growth, you could also say are suburban areas. Suburban Evansville and suburban Fort Wayne, in particular Homestead High School, where that's located. So on the western side of Fort Wayne is where you're seeing a lot of that suburban growth. But down in Evansville, what's happening there is Evansville's a manufacturing town, but we're going to tell a story about how manufacturing is something that's dying, something that no longer has as much of an influence here in Indiana. But one thing is in Evansville, it actually has been hanging on. It's also benefiting from a few other factors I'll explain a little bit later. But so we can see some of these second-tier cities, Evansville and Fort Wayne, also see kind of the suburban growth in the nearby counties especially. We have our suburban areas that have grown. We've got some of those resilient manufacturing towns in which they're still growing, especially in the suburban areas. Where else are we seeing growth? In our major college counties. So the two I've circled here are Tippecanoe County, which is where Purdue's located, and Monroe County to the south, which is where Bloomington and Indiana University is located. And these are going to be places that, for the most part, they're going to continue to grow because of this. College students are going to come and move there, and you're going to continue to see college students, needing to buy stuff, and so you're going to see a lot of other jobs that are going to be available there. But also what's going on here is in the economic recession that began in 2008, what happened is that stimulates people wanting to go back to college. So you combine this with the fact that a lot of millennials, a lot of that young generation, that echo boom, the baby boom's kids are now going to college. You can also see why those places are growing, because you have more and more people that are wanting to go to those universities from the state of Indiana. But all of this, what will happen in the future? What will happen by 2030? Will higher education still look the same? These are a lot of questions that are in the unknown category. So what will we see going forward? This is what demographers do. They try to project these things. They try to see where a place is going to grow, where a place is not going to grow, and then go ahead and start coming up with policies and just better research, better understanding.